De Zerbi ball, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely working. It's exciting, effective, entertaining.
To speak is easier than to play, but we have to try to compete for the trophy, to win the trophy, to become bigger.
Making the build-up, the best team is Brighton. There's no team better than make the process to bring the keeper the ball to the last quarter. There's no team better in modern football right now.
I just think it's the bravery. I think this Brighton team over a period of time has developed into a really good possession-based team.
Brighton's success has shocked football fans around the world. Not only has the football impressed a lot, including Pep Guardiola.
There's no team. It's unique. I had the feeling when I arrived the impact it would have in the Premier League. I couldn't expect to do it in this short of time.
But their off-the-field business has raised some eyebrows as well. Moises Caicedo, Robert Sanchez, Yves Bissouma, Alexis McAllister, Ben White, Marco Correa, and many more are players Brighton have bought for cheap, developed, and sold for loads of money. That brings me to the first strategy Brighton are using that other teams don't. Elite recruitment. Brighton signed the most promising wonder kids in world football, but not the Jude Bellinghams or the Pedris of this world. They sign players that are quite unheard of. Why? Because 1, they are cheaper, and 2, they're easier to convince to join the club. The crazy thing is though, most teams sign wonder kids and they fail to impress, causing all the potential to go to the drain. But why do Brighton hit the jackpot every single time they sign a player? Recruitment policies. Brighton have incredible scouts that look for talents all over the world that meet the criteria required to join the club based on the position they play. For example, they look for agile midfielders who have great vision and good passing of the ball, or for strong strikers who can hold up play and turn low XG chances into goals or goal scoring opportunities. They also use this criteria to replace players who leave the club. An example is how they replaced Moises Caicedo with Carlos Baleba and Alexis McAllister with Joao Pedro. Having a model like this is very important for a club like Brighton, as they minimize the risk involved with signing such young talents. But these talents can't go from mere prospects to world-class players without Brighton's next aspect in their strategy: development. Development is a very important aspect of Brighton's strategy to compete with teams at the top, as they normally choose staff who are not only good tactically, but can manage players well and most importantly give opportunities to young players. The manager is only the tip of the iceberg though, as many of the staff, from the under-18s to the under-21s to the senior squad, are involved and play a vital role in the development of young players at the club. Brighton are crazy obsessed with talent identification and development, but there's one part of their development process that I've not talked about: loans. Karim Mitoma, Moises Caicedo, Alexis McAllister, Jeremy Sarmiento, Dennis Undav. These are all players Brighton have previously or currently loaned out to clubs, quicker development and experience. These deals are mainly done through feeder or affiliate clubs. A feeder club is a football club from a weaker division that provides training and experience for young players from their parent club without paying a fee. So basically, Brighton send their most promising talents to teams they have partnerships with in order to gain experience, and the affiliates get an excellent player for their level for a year without paying a single penny. That surely is a win-win for both clubs. But is it? That's a story for another day. But I digress. We talked about how elite recruitment and development strategies set Brighton apart from the rest. But there's one missing piece that ties this all together: management, coaching. I'm pretty sure you've heard of this man, Roberto De Zerbi, who took over Brighton in the middle of last season after the departure of Graham Potter to Chelsea. At the beginning, people expected him to struggle for 2 reasons. 1, he had very little experience managing at the top level, and 2, it's the fucking Premier League. You can't just expect some random guy to take over and expect things to click right away. Well, he took all this and said, fuck that, I'm gonna destroy everyone. Yeah, so he took Brighton from being a mid-table club to a top 6 contender. But what about RDZ and his tactics make Brighton really special? Well, let's find out in today's episode of Tactics with Flair. Well, traditionally, the Seagulls set up in a 4-2-3-1 with 3 main aims. Firstly, to keep the ball and avoid passing too quickly. This is to bait the opposition team into pressing. And when they do press, the second thing they do is to play really quick passing football and get the ball fielded as quickly as possible once the opposing team presses. When they lose the ball though, they try to win the ball back as soon as possible with high intensity pressing. All of this won't work though without a solid formation. And that's why Brighton set up in a 4-2-3-1 in possession and a 4-4-2 out of possession with wingers high and wide ready to attack the space in behind. Now, since this basically ticks all the boxes needed for a successful tactic, Brighton go out there and destroy some of the Premier League's biggest teams. And I'm pretty sure I'm not kidding when I tell you, there's still more to come.